that point, and it comes as no surprise. I talked to Bobby Pierce for a minute down here before he was introduced. Oh, yeah, Bob is definitely watching tonight, he said. So there you go. There's the extra motivation. And Bob, we're still thinking about you, brother. Glad that you're on the mend, but don't rush it, buddy. You're tougher than all of us, as Ben Shelton told you, and we're thinking about you, praying for you. We want to see you back at the track soon.
Well, they're rolling the cars off the grid, James. Always special for these big events. It's special to come here to Shelby County Speedway. Let's take a cheat sheet look real quick. Again, your starting grid here tonight. We talked about Thornton. He's never won this race. Bobby's won it. Row 2, Sheppy's won it a couple of times. Devon's won it. Fifth starting Hudson's won it. Clay Stuckey would have loved to be able to say he's won it. When you look in that top 6, James, man, that is just a murderer's row of guys going after a big one.
All 26 starters. I mean, Dallin Murdy could come from the tail.
Yeah. Look at row 5. A couple of buddies back there.
Pospisil.
Yes.
And this would be the biggest win of his career, obviously. Brandon Overton looking for his first series win since last May. How about Dan Ebert? What about the weekend for Dylan McCallum last weekend?
Well, and how about Josh Rice back in row 11, starting 23rd? He claims Lucas Oil Speedway is his second home. If he wins this one, move over Josh King and Florence Speedway. And then Dallin Murdy, what if the youngster from the non-qualifiers race, and we've seen it, James.
We've seen
Not
it.
just in the Silver Dollar Nationals. We've seen it to Show Me 100. These guys come out of this non-qualifiers race, and you blink and they're up there.
Well, Ryan Gustin actually was a provisional the year he came from 34th to the lead at I-80.
I think the big thing you got to be careful about back in the pack here, you could get lapped early. You could go down a lap early, and then the guy in front of you gets lapped. That means you can't get the lucky dog. Field is forming up behind the Race Car Engineering Pace truck. You see Garrett Alberson out there on the speedway. Clay Harris has rallied this weekend, man. I tell you what, the driver in the 6th car had to race his way in tonight. And don't count out Tim McCready. Tim has had a good year with the World of Outlaws, and he's a driver that knows how to get up on the wheel and get it done. Man.
What about the 111 starting 11th?
I mean,
that's close to the front.
That's a danger spot for him, man. Well, James, the field is taking form here tonight.
All right, everybody up on your feet here in Shelby County. A salute to you, the greatest fans in auto racing, dirt late model fans. The 16th annual Al Belt Custom Home Silver Dollar Nationals. The first time ever here in Shelby County. Wow. 80 laps. The longest race they've ever had here for late models, Gary Hopp told me, is 53 laps.
Well, we're going to eclipse
that right,
that tonight.
Gary? 53 laps. 27 more. We'll see how it goes. Here we go.
Shelby County Speedway, how about it? The Al Belt Custom Home Silver Dollar Nationals. They're rolling your way. Make some noise for your starting field here tonight. Oh, man, look at the back straightaway. It's filled in the front straightaway.
Heck with another parade lap.
Oh, man, I love the color of the dirt here in Iowa.
Well, we hope everybody's enjoyed it, and we're going to top off this road trip here. It started at 34 Raceway. Brad and Jesse put on a great show. Then we went to Wheatland, then we went to Adams County. And 3 nights here, spectacular. Great crowds, great weather. And we're going to see who is going to win the Silver Dollar Nationals. Again, it's not a misprint. It's $52,000 to win, $53,000 for second. Third is $15,000, Ben.
Lights down on the speedway, $226,000 plus on the line here tonight. The Race Car Engineering Pace truck pulls to the infield down the back straightaway. Dustin Jarrett will talk to the Big River Steel podium and victory lane, and we'll find out if we have a brand new Al Belt Custom Homes Silver Dollar Nationals champion. Ricky Thornton Jr., Bobby Pierce lead a star-studded field to the green flag. 80 laps, $52,000 to win. The Ace Door and Hauling and Rigging start zone, and we're underway tonight in Iowa.
Laps again. It'll be Delaware double file if we do have cautions with 10 or less laps to go. Ricky Thornton Jr. will take the lead down the back straightaway. We came here 2 years ago as they go right now out of turn number 4, and RTJ by half a car length leads lap number 1 over Brandon Shepard.
He leads lap 1. Pierce will go to the middle of the racetrack. Moran gets over the cushion down in 1 and 2. He'll fall back to about 6th. Meanwhile, Thornton down low, Pierce to the cushion. Lap 1 went to Thornton. Lap number 2, it's going to go to RTJ as well. Bobby Pierce in 2nd. In the 3rd spot, Brandon Shepard in 4th. Hudson O'Neill.
5th is Shirley. Then it's Moran, Davenport, Stuckey, Gustin, Hoffman. Right now to turn number 3. Off of turn number 4. The driver now living in Indianola, Iowa, by way of Chandler, Arizona, out in front of the Silver Dollar Nationals.
Thornton almost won his first heat from last night. He won the second one. And a good payday last night. Bobby Pierce, a heat race winner last night. Came home second, the thriller to Zeitner in the second one. And now he comes after Ricky Thornton Jr. That time at the line, Thornton the leader by a tenth of a second. Pierce has got momentum on the top. Seems like maybe Thornton's a little better off of 2, but Pierce is better off of 4. 2-car breakaway out front. Who will lead lap number 5 of this 80-lap affair? And Thornton changes his line. He's your leader, but it's still Pierce working the top side.
Thornton Jr.'s best finish in the Silver Dollar Nationals, 4th in 2023. Bobby Pierce, a former winner of this race. Remember, he would have won it probably the year before that, right, without some mechanical issues as they head down the main straightaway. The 20 out in front. Pierce, Shepard, Davenport.
9th to 4th, going for 3rd. Jonathan Davenport trying to become a 4-time champion of this event. He goes around Brandon Shepard into your living room. Car 49, the A-Store and hauling and rigging entry, sets his sights on Bobby Pierce now. Top 3 head to the low side of the racetrack. Shelby heads up top. Shepard told us last night you cannot get your tires too hot too early here. He'll head to the top of the racetrack just as Thornton goes to the top through 3 and 4.
Now, I want to be like Davenport, cherry pick for 52,000, right? He's up to 3rd. Davenport 9th to 3rd. Dallin Murray, by the way, from the tail, he's up 7 as everybody's still on the lead lap as we're clean and green to the first 10 laps out of turn number 4.
It's interesting. Top 3 like the bottom down in 1 and 2. Then Shelby goes to the top. Down in 3 and 4, it's a little bit more of a gambler's choice, different grooves. And Shepard gets a good run off of 2. Closes in on Davenport. Brian Shirley joins the fold as well through turns 3 and 4, and we've seen Ricky Thornton Jr. try multiple grooves. He continues to hold serve. 10 down, 70 to go tonight in the Hawkeye State, where it's Ricky Thornton Jr. trying to become the 12th different driver to win a Silver Dollar Nationals.
Shepard works the outside of Davenport. Shepard, as you mentioned, won it twice. JD, the only 3-time winner. The late great Scott Bloomquist won it a couple of times. Brian Shirley, he's won at Knoxville. He's trying to win this one. He's the defending Prairie Dirt Classic champion. And 2 Illini veterans battling it out. That is for 4th and 5th into turn 3, Ben.
James, nobody picked Ricky Thornton Jr. out of our quote-unquote expert panel to win tonight.
I bet Shay did, and the kids.
So far, he's led 12 laps. They love him some confetti now. They're confetti cake for everybody if he can win tonight. Brian Shirley on the move, though. A couple of Landon Lincoln drivers battling for position number 4. Shepard now starting to size up Bobby Pearson. You got to wonder how much these guys right now are just trying to save their tires early in this one to make sure they're there at the end.
And Shirley's gotten around Shepard. B-Shep works the back straightaway. Now they're behind the 49 of Jonathan Davenport. Again, Moran runs 6th, and it's O'Neill. Blair is 8th. 9th is Gustin. 10th is Clay Stuckey. And right now, down the back straightaway, Josh Rice still on the lead lap, the final car, as they enter into turn number 3.
Lap traffic about to be a reality. They're half a straightaway behind and 15 down, 65 to go. It's Ricky Thornton Jr., Bobby Pierce, Jonathan Davenport, Brandon Shepard, Brian Shirley, your top 5. Then Devin Moran, Hudson O'Neill, Max Blair, Ryan Gustin, Clay Stuckey, your top 10. Stuckey running strong back in 10th right now as Shepard steps to the outside of Shirley out of turn number 4. That's your battle for position number 4. Shirley takes it at the line. And James, if you're Ricky Thornton Jr., you got to make some decisions now. Side-by-side lap cars in front of him.
We knew it was going to be a factor. Again, the longest race that's ever been run here for late models, and the tire wear, that was a concern on Thursday night. As they come out of turn number 2, the advantage is 0.8 of a second for the 20 RT. Bobby Pierce is still second. Shepard still married to that top bit at turn 3. Pulls to the outside of Brian Shirley.
And how much are these guys, again, is the bottom net good, or are these guys worried about having tires at the end? Because there's not a precedence here for 80 laps. They've only had 50 here before. Shepard really starting to put the whip to it up top. He'll clear Shirley out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. That's the battle for 4th on the right side of your screen. Ricky Thornton Jr. now closed in, and he's got both lap cars in front of him. He'll stay married to the bottom. Bobby Pearson second, 0.9 of a second behind him. And Jonathan Davenport continues to sit 3rd as lap traffic now a reality with 20 on the board, 60 to go tonight at Shelby County Speedway.
Murdy, the hard charge early on, up 10 spots. It is caution-free so far. There you see getting around Rice. Top rookie this year in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. Battles back there with Clay Harris. 2 Lucas Oil regulars on the tail end of the field. I believe everybody is still running in this race. Nobody has left the racing surface. And Ricky Thornton Jr. has led from the start here with 21 scored.
Well, he's thinking about going through the middle of lap traffic. Pierce is watching that. He'll stop thinking about it. He'll do it through 3 and 4. That bottom is really good. They're chasing that moisture right now. Thornton's got to be careful not to let Pierce around him. Pierce looks to the inside of Thornton as Thornton shoves off the top of turn number 2, trying to get around Clay Harris. Battle for the lead through lap traffic, working lap 23 out of turn 4.
Ricky Thornton Jr. still has the lead. Pierce still second. Davenport, Shirley, Shepard all Those still together, that's the top 5. Then it's still Moran, O'Neill, Blair, Gustin, Stuckey still 10th. Garrett Alberson up 10, 21st to 11th in the Roberts 58.
And now Pierce is going to go to the top, trying to go around Clay Harris, put him a lap down. Pierce will roll the middle through turns 1 and 2. The question starts to become, this bottom is really dominant right now. Are they all searching that moisture ring, or is that where this racetrack is going to be won? A long way to go, but most of the field right now working the low side of this racetrack.
You think maybe they're going to wear out that bottom and they throw those marbles up there? How about Brian Shirley down the back straightaway? Brian Shirley to the outside of Jonathan Davenport. That's the battle for third. Squirrel getting going up top. Meanwhile, Thornton still leads. Pierce second. Davenport. They might throw those marbles up there as right now Harris in front of Davenport, and that'll cost JD as Shirley goes to the outside and Brian now in third.
Shirley moves into the third spot. Brian Shirley started back in 7th in this one, and you got to wonder, to your point, have they thrown that crumb up there and started to roll it in a little bit as the middle come in, as Ricky Thornton Jr. one lap car between he and Bobby Pierce, working lap 28 last time by. Pierce 9/10 of a second behind Ricky Thornton Jr. Brian Shirley's trying to get to him. He's got a lap car between him and Bobby Pierce. Meanwhile, Davenport's going to work in the middle of the racetrack. He's got Brandon Shepard to his inside. The battle for 4th on your screen.
Fastest car on the track right now is, there's several of them right now. Bobby Pierce has got the fastest lap of the race, but right now he's running second for this entire race as they hit into turn number 1 with 29 scored. Thornton there down around Daniel Hilsebeck there. Pierce will follow him. Brian Shirley, Davenport, Shepard still your top 5. So all Illini, they've got 3 of the top 5 in this race.
Atlanta Lincoln, we're coming for you next Tuesday and Wednesday, Flow Night in America. They're trying to bring some of this Iowa cash with them, but right now Arizona native Ricky Thornton Jr., who resides in Indianola, Iowa, now trying to keep it, if you will, at home. He leads the way. Pierce in second. Meanwhile, Brian Shirley in third. Davenport in 4th. Back to 5th now. Brandon Shepard. James working quickly through the first half of this race. We've yet to see a Hellraiser Jacks caution as we approach the Hellraiser Jacks halfway mark.
Now Shirley, no lap cars between. There's the battle there, second and third. 32 and the 3S. Davenport distanced himself in 4th. Shepard back there battling in the number 1 car through lap traffic right now. And again, Thornton's led from the start. 33 laps in the record books for the 20RT. Looking first for Tyler Nashville's win, but it's a long way to go. A caution could change the race. And Brian Shirley eyes the spot as you see the battle back here with Brandon Shepard. And the 3S car, he's got a good hot rod, but he's trying to catch Bobby Pierce right now for second.
They're trying to put Dylan McCallum down a lap. He rides in the 22nd spot. James, we are now 35 laps, nonstop green flag action. And you got to think, you're starting to figure out, how's your car feel in this one? How do the tires feel as we approach halfway? Yeah. Are they getting hot? Do you feel like you got a lot left? One thing for sure, that bottom is not giving up at all. And you just wonder, again, does it start to give up? Does it do the opposite, what we don't want? Does it start to take rubber? A lot of unknowns as we approach the second half of this race.
Right now down the back straightaway, Brandon Overton, the final car in the lead lap. He runs in 21st as it gotten around Dylan McCowan. Thornton still married to that bottom. Bobby Pierce will follow. Brian Shirley again in 3rd. There's the battle back there. Hudson O'Neill right now in 7th. Gustin, Blair, Clay Stuckey sunk in the top 10 all race long in the 15 car.
I can tell you the lap times have dropped off about 7 to 8/10 of a second from early in the race. So that makes you start to think it's starting to slick up more and more versus when you see the lap times pick up when it starts to take rubber. So that's something to keep an eye on as well. If that bottom just slicks up and guys really have to start moving the second half of the race. Off of turn number 4, lap number 39 is now complete, and it's Ricky Thornton Jr. He's got a 9/10 of a second lead over Bobby Pierce. Next time by the Hellraiser Jacks halfway mark, James.
Ricky Thornton Jr., he has led all 40 laps here as we are halfway. Cars in front of him still running too wide as they go into turn number 1. There's the battle back there. There's Thornton, gets around Brandon Overton and puts him a lap down. Pierce still about 8 car lengths back. It's 1.1 on the scoring monitor as they go into turn number 3. So Thornton now to 4 is in front of him. Carson Ferguson, the final car on the lead lap.
Past the halfway mark now, 41 in the books. It's Thornton, Pierce, Shirley, Davenport, Shepard. That's your top 5. Then it's Moran, O'Neill, Gustin, Blair, and Stuckey. They run in 6 through 10. Behind them, Ebert, Alberson, Younghans, Marlar, and Pospischel, your top 15.
That middle to the top there in 1 and 2. Still looks pretty good. Dallin Murdy up 10 spots right now. The Hoker Trucking Hard Charger. And right now, off of turn number 4, you see the 20 RT Pierce. They're going to be searching maybe in here a little bit. You talked about tire conservation down the back straightaway.
And there are three wide lap cars in front of your leader momentarily. And Bobby Pierce, at that point, you just got to stay married to where you've been good, and that's what he's going to do. But this is going to allow Pierce to close in, and one bobble by a lap car or one lane change from Thornton could open the door for Bobby Pierce as Ricky Thornton Jr. works around Tad Pospischal to the inside of Carson Ferguson, now to the inside of McCready, and Kyle Bronson in front of him. Man, heavy lap traffic. 45 laps now gone in the books. 35 laps remain. It's been all Ricky Thornton Jr., and he's starting to stretch it out as Bobby Pierce loses a little bit of track space in lap traffic to your leader.
Brian Shirley still in the 3rd spot. These guys at 1 and 2 trying to burn through that middle of the top. See Bronson lose a little bit as Ferguson gets back around him. Both of those a lap down. Thornton right now 1.1 the advantage. Off at turn number 4, Bobby Pierce still second. Brian Shirley, all 3 of those still on the same straightaway ahead of Davenport and Shepherd as they come out of turn number 2.
Brian Shirley looking good back there in the 3rd spot. Yeah, your leaders have been content to run on the bottom. Meanwhile, there's haymakers being thrown in front of them. Mainly guys don't want to go down a lap, and they know they're running out of time as Ricky Thornton Jr. has built a 1.5 second advantage over Bobby Pierce and really hasn't had to force the issue too hard, but now Pierce can see the leader in front of him. Several lap cars in front of Ricky Thornton Jr. None other than Kyle Bronson, who is out of Pierce's way between 1st and 2nd. And how about that? Now Thornton says enough is enough. He's going to try the top. Oh, he hits a rough spot down in turns 1 and 2. That opens the door. Pierce can't get there. Smith out of the race. I tell you what, Thornton moved up the racetrack in 1 and 2. He hit the rumble strips, and that just about cost him the lead. 50 laps complete, 30 to go.
Yeah, this 1 and 2, you can run the middle of the top. Thornton tried there. He stepped out there a little bit. Meanwhile, the top 3, Davenport tries to join the top 4. Shepherd lurks in the 5th spot. We know what he can do here. The run he had here on Thursday night, Ricky Thornton Jr. into turn number 1. You worry about tires. What about tire wear? They had talked about it the last couple of nights. Now the top 2 into turn number 3. No lap cars between them. Bobby Pierce goes to the top. Ben Shelton.
Yeah, and the lap times on the bottom, they're dropping off about a 1/10 every 6 to 7 laps. And that might be what Pierce wonders. Is there some moisture left? Bobby Pierce was 0.7 of a second back. Here comes Bobby Pierce. Can he get a run through 3 and 4? That's going to be the key. Last time by, it was a 0.7 of a second lead for Ricky Thornton Jr. James, it's going to be less this time by the line. 0.5 of a second. Pierce is going to go to the bottom in 1 and 2. Let's see if he bonsais the top in 3 and 4.
Into turn number 3. He's got right there. He's just testing that top. There he goes back to the top. Off at turn number 4. I think it's still pretty good up there into 1 and 2. We'll see if he can make a stick. Brian Shirley, meanwhile, stays on the bottom. The top 3 down the back straightaway. Davenport 4th, Shepherd, Moran, O'Neill, Blair, Gustin, Stuckey still 10th.
I tell you what, Pierce had taken 2/10 off of Thornton's lead last time, going bottom of 1 and 2, top in 3 and 4. He went the top of 1 and 2 the previous lap, though, and the car got upset, so he stayed on the bottom in 3 and 4. We'll see if Pierce goes back to the top, as that might be the groove. The bottom in 3 and 4, the top in 3 and 4, the bottom in 1 and 2. Time starting to become of the essence, though, James. 56 laps complete tonight. 24 laps inside of a Saturday night finale, but tonight it's for $52,000 to win.
Brian Shirley staying right there close to Pierce. Davenport, Shepherd still your top 5. They are all right together right here into 1. See 1 and 2, they're trying to run after 3, 4 wide. Dallin Murdy, Garrett Alberson up 9 spots, but all eyes have been up front here in this 20 RT as he's got 3 wide almost in front of him off turn 4. Here comes 32, 3S, 49 and 1.
James, here's another question. Did Pierce go up there, find out where he thinks he needs to be later? He doesn't want to get the tires too hot right now. He is saving it, riding around that cool dirt along the bottom. Lap times have now fallen into the 16s. Early in this one, we were in the 14 seconds. In fact, early in the race, as low as 14.5s. We're now into the 16s. Is Pierce biding his time? Is Thornton biding his time? He's run a smart race out in front, but man, lap traffic's heavy, James. 60 laps complete, 20 to go tonight, James.
Murdy and McCready running his line. Up top is Hoffman. Down the back straightaway. What are you going to do? Like you said, there's still 20 laps to go. You just got to keep it on the bottom, right? I mean, I don't know. I've never driven a car.
I think if you're Thornton, you've got to keep it on the bottom. I think Pierce is getting ready to do what Pierce is going to do right here. He sees how bottled up the 20 RT is. I think the bottom in 1 and 2, though, is still the place to be. Watch what happens down in 3 and 4. I think Pierce is going to make a big move as we come around to complete lap number 62. Thornton down low last time by the lead was 0.5 of a second. That time at the line, still 0.5. Pierce changes things up, though. He goes to the bottom in 1 and 2. Let's see if he goes to the top in 3 and 4. Heavy lap traffic in front of your leader. No, Pierce will stay on the bottom. Cat and mouse right now for the top spot.
Number 52,000 to win, 53,000 per second. 17 to go, 63 in the books. McCready, Hoffman, Marlar still in front of the leaders at a turn 3. Shirley, Davenport, Shepard right there.
60.
I have no clue what Ricky's going to do. Do you?
I mean, if you're Ricky, you can't change what you're doing. You can't change it up. I think Pierce, if anybody's got a chance, it's Pierce. Shirley back in third, hoping those two somehow maybe get together, get crossed up a little bit. But I think Bobby Pierce is biding his time. I think in the closing laps, you're going to see Pierce go to the bottom in 1 and 2, and the top in 3 and 4. And if you're Thornton, you just can't give up what's been working so far.
Meanwhile, Shepard there all over Davenport right there as they come out of turn number 4. They're left 14 to go, 66 in the books. Marlar, Hoffman, McCready trying to stay on the lead lap. And again, out of turn number 2, Pierce right there, about a car length and a half back. Into turn number 3, it's 0.4 of a second. I think you're right. He's just waiting here to the end of the last, maybe less than 10 laps to go here coming up. We'll see him shoot to the outside. Remember, he's not running for points in the Lucas Oil Series. But it does pay 53,000 per second. You don't want to lose that spot because it's 15,000 for third to Shirley.
Well, heavy lap traffic in front of your leaders. The top 2 run there. Shirley, Davenport, Shepard trying to join the party with a dozen to go tonight in Harlan, Iowa, where Ricky Thornton Jr. has led 68 straight laps in less than 18 minutes of this Al Belt Custom Home Silver Dollar Nationals finale. And the other thing you got to wonder about, if you were thinking about trying the top in 3 and 4, is now they catch lap traffic. Those guys are holding serve to the middle and top. It could get a little jumbled if you try to make a run anywhere other than the bottom, James.
You got to remember, Pierce and Davenport not running for championship points. Thornton, Shirley, and Shepard are as they come out of turn number 4. He's trying to get around Mike Marlar. Will he push the issue on the 157? Thornton had some words for Mikey last night, right, as they come down that heat race. Into turn number 3.
Well, I tell you, somebody that's tired of waiting's going to the top. Jonathan Davenport. Oh, and a Hellraiser Jack's caution on the speedway. And that resets it all with 10 to go. Just as Davenport had gone to work on the top side of the racetrack. And we'll all take a breath, and we'll get ready for 10 laps for $52,000 here tonight. As waiting to see if it's debris. I see track crews making their way out surveying. And it is debris on the racetrack, and Jonathan Davenport had just gone to work on the top of the racetrack. He was tired of watching, and this could change everything. Dustin, Jarrett, you've been watching from the infield. Did you have 70 laps caution-free on your bingo card?
I don't know that anybody had 70 caution-free laps on their bingo card, and I'm like you guys. The one thing that I'm very interested to see here on this restart, does that 32-pound the cushion on the outside? And James, what question for you? We are right at 10 laps to go. I'd have to check the rule book. We're right on the cusp of either single file or Delaware double file restart.
What you're going to see under this caution, you see, and they hear it talk about it after the races, it'll be single file. You see the drivers going to the top bin. Are they packing down those crumbs?
Well,
see what's up there.
I think that, and if you were paying attention, guys like Nick Hoffman were holding their position right through the middle of the racetrack. They've kicked that crumb off the bottom. It's been packed in the middle. Tad Pospischel down there in the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit looking into the rear of that race car. I think you're going to see, and if you're anybody other than Ricky Thornton Jr., I think you try every groove on this restart. And if you're Thornton, how much are you overthinking where you need to be, DJ?
Yeah, you're absolutely right about all of those scenarios. And I'll tell you another scenario we talked about at the start of this race. There was no less than 20 members from different crews that just came over here and looked at the tire wear on the 04 of Tad Pospischel. So, yeah, tire wear, very much a concern in this one in the closing stages.
Well, and that's a great point, DJ, because That's a great point, because right now nobody really knows what they've got. I mean, these guys in their car, they know what they're feeling. They know if they're hot. They know if they feel the tread going away. But this is unknown territory. So maybe you've told your guy to bide his time, and maybe now you're putting your hand in there and you're waving to wind her up, let her eat, and don't leave it all on the table. Or you just saw Pospisil's tire and you went, oh man, you better hold on to these last 10 laps.
Yeah, we saw the left rear. Didn't look that bad, but did not get a look at the right rear on the Nebraska driver. So, well, 10 laps to go. 70 in the book. 70 green flag laps racing. It'll be Thornton, Pierce, Shirley, Davenport, Shepard, your top 5. Then Moran, O'Neill, Blair, Stuckey, who's hung in there. Gustin, Ebert, Young, Hans, Alberson, Hoffman, Murdy, still your top 15 right now.
How about Clay Stuckey?
Yeah.
Having a good run right now, back in the 9th position. That team, I would say Clay's probably raced more series and more places than about anybody this year. He's been all over the place, really trying to get a notebook for those Longhorn by Stuckeys. Of course, his Hall of Fame dad, Ronnie Stuckey, and his Hall of Fame mom, Terry Stuckey, the coolest of all the Stuckey family. Right now, you got to think a top 10 would be big for them. I think this one is going to be interesting. I think you're going to see everybody head to the bottom in 1 and 2 on this restart. I think 3 and 4, it's going to be game on.
32's checking out 3 and 4 up top.
I think they all are.
I think they all are. All right, single file restart, Dustin.
Yeah, guys, one thing I noticed as well, I keep thinking back to that group of cars that was in front of RT and Pierce before that caution came out. The guys that were about to go a lap down, the guys right there running in that group of Hoffman and Marlar and McCready, and those guys were actually holding their own, running kind of that middle group down in turns 1 and 2. I just keep coming back to that, and I got to think that's in the back of the mind of a few of the guys that saw where they were running, a few of those guys there at the front of the field.
Marlar is the last car in the lead lap. He's in 17th position right now, the 157. Everybody else a lap down. All right, single file restart. The East Orange Holligan Rigging restart zone. 10 to go. Ricky Thornton Jr. has led all 70 laps. What do you think, Ben?
I
don't know.
I think it's about to get really entertaining is what I think. Well, they'll enter the East Orange Holligan Rigging restart zone. 70 down, 10 to go. Silver Dollar Nationals could be the final restart of the night. And Pierce is going to blast the top down in 1 and 2. Thornton down low. Bobby Pierce got Brian Shirley to his inside. What can Pierce do in 3 and 4?
You're not surprised, are you?
Not at all.
Not
a little bit for 1 and 2.
Now Davenport's going to go through the middle under turn number 4. RTJ still leads 9 to go. Pierce, Shirley, Davenport. Davenport's going through the middle. Would that caution cost him? No. Davenport may have the fastest car on the track. Here comes Superman into turn 3.
Davenport found that crumb they packed in the middle. They thrown it from the bottom. He's going to stay in the middle in 3 and 4. And now he starts to reel in your leader, Ricky Thornton Jr., 0.4 of a second, the advantage. 8 laps to go. And don't look now, Superman's cape is in the wind, James.
Yeah, that
My
too.
Goodness.
3-time Silver Dollar Nationals winner. Nobody's won more. Shirley tries to the outside. Davenport is there into turn number 1. It is right now 0.3 of a second. 7 laps to go. 49 to run. Thornton tries to go to the top. I don't know if he'll be able to hold him off, do you? As they come out of turn number 4, Thornton slides up the track. JD through the middle. 6 to go.
Thornton has changed his groove off of 4, and that's where the difference is being made. And now he starts to pull away from Jonathan Davenport. Davenport ducks down to the bottom off of turn number 2, and Thornton may have just withstood the storm he needed to get this win tonight. It looked like Davenport was going to shoot to the lead. Nobody going to the top. It seems like that middle or the bottom is where you've got to be right now. James, 5 laps remain. Ricky Thornton Jr. trying to get the monkey off his back and get this Kohler Motorsports car back in victory lane in one of these crown jewels.
0.7 of a second for the 20 RT, and right now it remains 0.7 of a second out of 2. Boy, if Davenport, he was thinking about that caution, and he was on the move before that, but he made quick work of Shirley and Pierce. But RTJ, as you mentioned, changed his line into 1, 3 to go. Will they pick up the tail end of the field here? And they probably will here as they'll have 2 to go coming up.
And you got to wonder, did Davenport heat up those tires on that restart? That was all he had left. Either way, Thornton has caught the tail of the field. Now, if he has to deal with them, that's harder to say. Less than 2 to go here tonight at Shelby County Speedway, where Ricky Thornton Jr. has extended his advantage to 1 second over Davenport, Pearson, Shirley. James, Barrett's performance, white flag, 1 time to go.
He's got enough of a gap right now. He's trying to keep a gap between the tail end of the field. 20 RT down the back straightaway. Final lap. Trying to win his first Silver Dollar Nationals. Davenport out of time. out of laps as Ricky Thornton Jr. gets it down here tonight in Shelby County.
Jonathan Davenport comes home in second. Bobby Pierce in third. Brian Shirley at fourth. Brandon Shepard in fifth. Devin Moran sixth. Hudson O'Neill seventh. Max Blair eighth. Clay Stuckey ninth. Ryan Gustin 10th. Then it's Ebert, McCready, Younghans, Murdy, and Alberson. Your top 15 on a night where Ricky Thornton Jr. has unofficially become the 12th different driver to win the Silver Dollar Nationals. This would be his 6th Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series win of the year. This would be the 60th, I believe. We'll verify that on the sheet for his all-time feature wins, and a much-needed big win for that Kohler Motorsports team, who just has not had much luck here lately. That Knights companies: Bill Stein, Hooker Trucking, High Performance Lubricants, Elite Ready Mix, Capital Waste, Certified Inspection Services, Sunoco, Coltman Farms, Strange Oval, D&E Outside Services, 5-Star Metal Building. Car number 20 RT for Ricky Thornton Jr. DJ, he got to the lead, and even Superman couldn't find a way around him on that restart.
Yeah, and he tried, right? That middle came around there for Jonathan Davenport for a few laps. I think we all kind of thought that the 49 was just going to roll around the middle and roll right by the 20 RT. That wasn't the case, and I think the turning point for Ricky Thornton Jr., guys, was maybe when you mentioned it, Ben, and you did too, James. He slid up the racetrack just a little bit down there in turns 3 and 4. Maybe took the line away that the 49 needed.
Well, Ricky Thornton Jr., all well said. DJ's the fireworks go off. That would be his 6th late model win of the year. That would be his 4th Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series win to bring his all-time total to 60 on a night where he gets 52. And I know JD comes to play, he comes to win the game, but hey, Jonathan Davenport's going to end up with 53,000 tonight. But DJ, it's going to be interesting when you talk to Ricky, assuming he makes it clean through the UNOH scale or the Long Acre scales. I think this one's worth more than money to that team tonight. They really need to get that monkey off their back, and what a big way to do it with a first ever win.
Absolutely. The shot in the arm, I don't know if you can put a price tag on that, right? You can see the pyro going off down here, and Jonathan Davenport is making his way back out. We'll wait for the 20 RT. Hey, how about that, Shelby County?
Hey, and a point to be made, Destin. It's 27 more laps than had ever been run here in a late model race. So everybody learns, the track crew, Lucas Oil, everybody learns what to do for 2027, Destin. So Ricky Thornton Jr. going to the Long Acre Racing Product Scale. So unofficially, it's Thornton, Davenport, Pierce, Shirley, Shepard, your top 5.
James, everybody builds notebooks, right? These drivers, these teams build notebooks. The Lucas Oil Series staff, they build notebooks. So does the track crew. And it's official, Shelby County, your winner of the 16th annual Albelt Custom Home Silver Dollar Nationals is making his way back out on the track, Ricky Thornton Jr.
Who needs the Canadian wildfires, right? To Ben, we got our pyro. Wow.
Well, the kids will be happy. There's confetti about to go off down here in Lucas Oil Victory Lane. Anthony Burrows down here leaning in to grab a word with his driver, gives him a pat on the head. And it's safe to say, as you mentioned, Ben, this team needed this one. $52,000 to win. But getting back in victory lane and potentially turning your season around, priceless. As a matter of fact, he dropped to 7th at one time in the series point standings. But tonight, he stands atop Lucas Oil Victory Lane. And for the first time in his career, he's a winner of the Silver Dollar Nationals. Let him hear you, Shelby County Speedway. It's Ricky Thornton Jr. Sparklers going off down here. The confetti all over the car. Shay down here as well. Ricky will give his wife a big kiss. And he's got the $52,000 paycheck down here in front of him. Get that cap adjusted, man. They were starting to say that you could only win in IMCA stock cars and IMCA modifieds. All right, we'll talk about the win itself here in a second, but Was your plan to stay on the bottom of the racetrack that entire race? Because I talked to you beforehand, you said, man, this thing's gonna shift, the grooves are gonna change. Did this track do what you expected it to do? And if not, how did that change your game plan over the course of 70 green flag laps to start this thing?
Yeah, just at the start, I really didn't know if I needed to be around the bottom or run around the top. And I felt like that first lap I moved out in 3 and 4, and I'm like, man, that did not feel very good. And ran about 4 or 5 laps there, and I tried it again. And I don't know if they just got it too hard above the cushion, which was weird because it was like really fluffed up there. And I was like, man, I guess I'm gonna have to move back down and just ride around. And then we got to those lap cars, and I'm like, man, I really want to move out and try to blow by them. But
and you tried a couple times.
Well, and then like I was trying to gauge myself off Hoffman and McCready, and I'm like, man, if they move out and pass a bunch of cars, then I know I can move out and do it. But I'm like, if I stayed next to them for 50 laps, it felt like, I'm like, I know the top's not any better, so just keep rolling around the bottom. I don't know. I mean, hats off to everyone at Kohler Motorsports. I feel like it's a little sigh of relief. I feel like we got our old self back. So I don't know. Hopefully we can be really good at Fairbury next week. I don't know if it was running the IMCA stuff, just give me a little extra confidence or what. But I don't know. I love coming to this place. I got to thank all the fans for coming out. Everyone that stopped by the apparel trailer. It's pretty awesome when we get to come run in Iowa. The nice part is I'm only an hour and a half from here now. So like I said, I got to thank everyone. Kohler Motorsports, Knights Companies, Hoker Trucking, Cornet, Dirt Car Lift, FK Rod Ends, Dynamic Drivelines, Bill Stein, Longhorn, Sunoco Race Fuels. There's so many great people that help us. D&E Outside Services, High Performance Lubricants. I know I'm missing a ton. Coltman Farms, everyone at Flow Racing, everyone at Lucas Oil put on a great show.
Did you ever dream this thing would go 70 green flag laps to start this?
No, I definitely didn't. Although if it would have went all 80, I would have been fine with that too. So no, sometimes you come here and there's a lot of yellows, and sometimes there's no yellows, and I still felt like we had 20 plus cars racing at the end. So I just try to do my best in lap traffic, not put myself in a really bad spot. And like I said, the one time I did try to the top, I hit the curb just barely wrong and got tight. And I'm like, man, I looked over and I saw 2 red cars, and I'm like, well, I think one's Hillspec and the other one's probably Pierce, so I need to make sure I get back to the bottom and not really give the race up.
$52,000 is the dollar amount on this paycheck down here, but can you put a price tag on the shot in the arm that it gives you, Burrows, Bobby and Jessica Kohler, and this whole team to get back to victory lane?
I mean, it feels like we won $1 million. Our year's been all over the place. Every time we're fast, we have really weird luck, and when we're slow, we just run in the back and don't do anything. So I feel like we were really good the other night at Corning, and just had that right front flat with a few to go. I didn't qualify well here the first night, but I raced really well. So anytime you can race really well in the featured, I feel like it's easier to adjust your car early at night than it is in the feature time. So really after Thursday night's feature, we didn't touch a whole lot. So like I said, everyone's working hard, and hopefully this will put a little bit of a dent in how far down we are money-wise this year.
How about it, ladies and gentlemen? He's originally from Chandler, Arizona, but he now calls Indianola, Iowa home, Ricky Thornton Jr. Hey, Burrows, how about that, man? Congratulations. How much did you guys need that?
Man, we needed it bad. It feels like definitely the biggest win of our career right there. It's been a tough year. We like Ricky said, things have gone good, things have gone really bad, and it's not lack of effort and on anybody's part. And hopefully this is going to give us a shot in the arm to get going for the rest of the year.
All right, go enjoy victory lane, man. That is Crew Chief Anthony Burrows. We're going to get down here and grab a word with your second place finisher. He's down here talking to the Kosiski family right now. And he is going to come out of here with more money than the first place finisher, because that's just how we roll here with the Albelt Custom Home Silver Dollar Nationals. How about it, ladies and gentlemen, your second place finisher, Superman Jonathan Davenport. So you almost made me look like the smartest man here, because that caution with 10 to go, I said, man, I think there's something there in that middle. Here comes Jonathan Davenport rolling that middle, and then what happened the last few laps?
It just went away. We never could really get it packed in while we was under green. I floated out there a few times, and I would just slide. So right before that caution come out, I went all the way to the top, and I knew there wasn't too much there. So you know, we're not running for points or nothing, so I was going to try something. And I thought Bobby would try the top, And then I was hoping if Bobby tried the top on that start, then that would let Brian have clean air to the bottom, and maybe he would overshoot it a little bit. And then if I could roll the middle just perfect there, I could get a run on him. So it kind of worked out the way I was planning it in my head there. But I thought Bobby might get a little bit better run, and I had to check it off of 4 right here. That kind of cost me a lap when I was on the outside of Shirley. We actually got all the way to Bobby, so I had to roll back just a little bit, or we was all going to crash right there. So once we got rolling there, then Bobby got back to the bottom, and then I got by him, and it was only a few laps worth of grip there. It stayed okay down on this end just because it was so wet earlier in the race that we could throw those wet crumbs out in the middle, and it packed in decent, like I said, for 2 or 3, maybe 4 laps there, and then it kind of left, but it was only like 2 or 3 laps over here in 3 and 4. It was just enough grit there to let my right front steer, and then after that went away, I really couldn't do any more with it, so then I just had to tuck back in line, and just a really good run for us, though. We got behind Thursday qualifying, and then obviously everybody knows that the track wasn't ideal for heat races, so you just couldn't pass, and I got us behind all night. But then for last night, we was in the first heat, starting last, no caution, so everybody got spread out pretty fast there. But then in the last heat, obviously, we was really, really good. So we just went that direction for setup tonight, didn't change a whole lot, and, we drove right up through there early, pretty good. So just happy for my guys, not quitting on me. I may be getting old and being a part-timer nowadays, but I can still get it done every now and then. So just thankful for Corey and Tyler. That's all I got right now. We're down a man for sure, and they've been working their tails off for me. And here the last couple of weeks, I've been giving them a little bit of extra body work to do, but they definitely don't hold their heads down. They hold them up high and just go to work. So just thankful for them. Thanks for Ace Duran coming on board this year. I know Lance and Darla Landers is back home watching. Thanks to Steve Martin for everything you do. Nutrient Ag Solutions, ASC Warranty, Longhorn Chassis, Bilstein Shocks, Go Lithium Batteries, Kaiser Wheels, VP Fuels, Martin Automotive, everybody that helps us, Midwest Sheet Metal. Chris, I know you're watching. I hope you're feeling better, buddy. And just thanks for all this great crowd. I was a little bit timid coming here, and I was trying to make our mind up if we was going to, but once I talked to Joe and Steve there, and they're paying 52 and 53, we had 2 shots at a big paycheck. So just thanks to him, the whole Kaziski family, and we'll take a couple weeks off, go watch Blaine do some fishing, and we'll see y'all back at Florence.
Yeah, $53,000 for second nothing to sneeze at, right?
Yeah, that's right. I didn't want to win anyway. I had to pay for that plane ticket home.
There you have it. Superman Jonathan Davenport walks out of here with more money than anyone. He grabbed second on the Big River Steel podium here tonight. And we will run down here and grab a word with the driver that finished third here this evening. Out of Oakwood, Illinois, the smooth operator, Bobby Pierce. BP down here talking to series director Rick Schwally. Bobby, I'll ask you the same thing that I asked Ricky. 70 green flag laps to start this race. I'm guessing that probably wasn't in most people's playbook.
No, it wasn't for sure. I was looking at the scoreboard, and it said like 28 or 23, and I'm like, okay, is that 28 laps in? And I came around the next lap, and it was a lap less. I was like, oh man, we're already almost done with this race. So it went by pretty fast, and I don't know. We, congrats to Ricky on the win. He was driving a heck of a race and getting through lap traffic good, and I didn't have anything for him. So being the second time here, now we'll make some more notes. I felt like the last time here, obviously the track, it was a barn burner that time, and kind of went to some setup like that and, made some couple changes, and I didn't really like them, but now I kind of know a little bit better what to do next year, I'd hope. But I know now, I was just talking to Rick, like you said, and we both expected it to be not like that. We thought the top was going to be fast for a really long time, and when we dropped the green, the bottom was the best spot, and the top kind of just turned to crumbs. So it took a lot of us by surprise. I think everyone thought the track was dialed in, and I think they did everything right. Just, I guess now I learned with the race car, they'll learn with the racetrack. We come here next year, and I'm sure they'll give us another barn burner.
You tried to rail the top down here a few times. Was there something that just didn't feel right behind the wheel? You tried that, and then you go back down to the bottom for a lap or two.
Yeah, my car was a little loose, but I think it kind of felt like it shelved off right above that, like, there's like a cushion right in the middle of the track. Right above that, it got a little flatter. And what was traction in some of the heat races yesterday was actually just crumb tonight. So that's dirt track racing. Sometimes you don't know what it's going to do. And a lot of times when it's 90 degrees outside like this, it brings moisture back when you till it up. And tonight it just happened not to. So I don't know. I think kind of caught us all by surprise. But I tried it with 10 to go, 52 grand to win, 53 grand for second. But I wanted to win the race. So I sent it up there, didn't have a good lap, so luckily I was able to get back down, and I'm like, okay, we'll settle in for second, probably just, if we get something with Ricky, we do, but then here comes JD on the outside. It's like, man, that sucks. But all in all, we had a pretty good weekend here, and be excited to come back. I got to say, shout out to my dad and my mom watching, and my wife, Abby, watching back at Eldora, and all my other family and friends, and thanks to everyone for reaching out. And I got to thank all my sponsors before I go: Low Voltage Solutions, Chocho Transport, Mesquite Valley Transportation, Larry and the AZ4 watching back home. Love you guys. Carnegie Towing, Brian Carnegie, Sidinger Construction, Collins Brothers Towing, Fort Knox Safes and Vaults, River Bottom Dog Training. This weekend we had Culver's on the car. They were kind of in this region, in Carroll, Iowa, and Fort Dodge, Iowa. So shout out to them. Thank you for sponsoring the spoiler. Olin Shocks, Fit Kill, Longhorn Dynamics, Swift Springs, Go Lithium Batteries, VP Fuels. Thanks to all my crew and everyone that helped out this weekend. We got a whole bunch of people: Justin, Darian, Tony, Jeff Lika, Spud, Ben, all my t-shirt volunteers. Thanks to them. Thanks to Wahoo for all the help, and just everybody, man. Thank you.
All right, there you have it. The smooth operator, Bobby Pierce, rounds out the Big River Steel podium here tonight, guys.
Well, Ricky Thornton Jr., again, the 12th different driver to win this event. Let's see how it unfolded here tonight on a night that was only slowed by one Hellraiser Jack's caution. And it was Thornton and Pierce bringing us to the green flag, James, and I think we thought earlier it was going to be top dominant.
No doubt about it, and they tied in points after last night's 10 heat races, and again, the tiebreaker was the fastest lap in either one of their heat races, and it was by Thornton, and that proved to be vital here tonight. Looked like Bobby Pierce, you mentioned, looked like several times he was going to go to the top. There's one slip up there that Thornton is going to, he gets back down on the bottom, and probably held his breath there for the last 10 laps of that race. And Davenport got it going before that caution, but it just never really could get those crumbs run in to where they could get traction there. At the end.
It was wild watching those guys in traffic before the caution, because you just saw McCready. They would run as fast as the guys were on the bottom. Just no place was any better. But Ricky Thornton Jr. tonight gets the checkered flag, 52,000 on a night where second place gets 53. But for 20 RT, hey, Anthony Burrows gets to keep his job. Maybe people will leave him alone for a little bit as the winning crew chief on the 20 RT. Jonathan Davenport second, Bobby Pearson third, Dustin Jarrett, a hot weekend in Iowa. What are your final thoughts, buddy?
My final thoughts are this. I really hope that this event continues here at Shelby County. And kind of like we were saying there before the guys got back out here on the racetrack, teams make a notebook, series make a notebook. Ben, you and I and James, we make notebooks. This track crew, they make notebooks as well. They know what to do, what not to do moving forward. I love a raucous, rowdy crowd. We have that here at Shelby County Speedway. I love the town of Harlan, Iowa. Quite honestly, I love the Al Belt Custom Home Silver Dollar Nationals as well. Gary Hopp, the Kosiski family, they're all fantastic people. This is a phenomenal event. I hope that continues here in Harlan, Iowa at Shelby County Speedway in 2027.
Very well said, sir. James Essex, your final thoughts.
Couldn't have said it any better myself. Ditto to that. And Ricky Thornton Jr. comes the first winner of the Silver Dollar Nationals in his career. And you see Jonathan Davenport second. Not a bad payday for him. He will make more than Thornton at $53,000, and Bobby Pierce will get $15,000 for third here tonight, Ben.
Well, a very entertaining night and weekend. I tell you what, so many great marketing partners helped to make it happen. And let's take a look at one of those right now. We're here in the pit area at the Silver Dollar National, Shelby County Speedway. Penske Shocks, Nick Stein. Nick, you guys are in the air condition right now. The heat's blazing outside, but you guys are working really hard. Talk to me about some of the cool stuff you got going on at Penske now.
Yeah, some of the new stuff we've been working on, we've been updating our shocks to have better flow and maximize the efficiency of that. Doing that allows the shock to work more efficient. That should give better grip and the drivers better feel. Another thing that we'll have probably live at PRI this year is our Shock 7 software. that's compatible with Roerig's and Penske S-Link dynos. And what's neat about that is there's going to be a machine learning sim on it. So that's just going to help the user get the build they're looking for quicker or match the curve they're doing a lot easier.
On a week here like the Silver Dollar Nationals, you got 50 guys here. Some guys you don't get to see much throughout the year. What keeps you the busiest in an event like this that we're here for 3 days at the same track?
The biggest curveball here is modifieds. I just had some guy come in and say, hey, instead of shipping these out, can you get them worked on? So I don't see mods very much following all the late model stuff, but when I do, they definitely keep me busy.
Mods, late models, whatever you need, Penske Shocks, they got you dialed up. PenskeShocks.com.
And welcome back here, Shelby County Speedway. What a night it has been here to finish off a monumental weekend at the Shelby County Speedway in Harlan, Iowa. One final bit of business to take care of. It is time for our Budweiser IMCA Hobby Stock A-Main event. First time ever the Hobbies get to be part of the Silver Dollar Nationals weekend, and they are ready to line up behind the Twin Rivers Auto Group pace truck here on the front straightaway. Let's get you that starting lineup right away. Final race of the Silver Dollar Nationals weekend.